Hello, hello, hello. I have returned. Fair warning, the camera is not going to be as good at the moment because I don't have my lights on. The reason I don't have my lights on is because you can't really see her, but I have a Missy in my lap. And she climbed into my lap before I turned on my lights. So the camera still works, obviously. It's just a little bit darker than I would like. Because I couldn't turn on my lights. I would have to disturb Missy in order to turn on the lights. Obviously, I can't disturb Missy. That would just be wrong. Missy, we must not disturb the Missy. Yeah, right, Missy. Yeah. What you trying to bite me for? I'm just giving you scratches. Oh, now you're gonna jump down. Okay, fine. I no longer have a Missy in my lap. Now I can turn on my lights. There we go. That's much better. Much, much better. Okay, let's give it a little bit for the first round of ads to go by as usual. Relax for a bit. Talk a little bit about my vacation. I went to visit a friend. Friend I had not seen in quite a while. Was very fun. Although it had kind of a rocky start because weather delays happened. A lot of weather delays. I actually ended up losing one day of my vacation because of those delays. So what initially happened was I was supposed to be in the air at like 6 in the morning, which is not unusual for me. I usually prefer early morning flights simply because there's fewer people at the airport. It's easier to get through security. And it usually just doesn't like take up the whole day, and I'm able to, you know, have the full day after I land, depending on how far exactly I'm traveling. Getting to my destination usually doesn't take up the whole day if I do it that way. Well, I get there and I find out that the flight's been delayed, and it's now leaving at I think the first delay was it was leaving at 1. Yeah, first delay was leaving at 1. Got ads starting up in a minute. So right off the bat, we're on the wrong foot because I'm there at like 4 in the morning, and that's when I find out that the flight's been delayed like 6-7 hours. Okay, not a big deal. It's an airport. There's tons of stuff to do at airports. Not really that. I have my electronics with me. Not a huge deal. I don't have to worry about being entertained or having things to do. Whatever. Noon rolls around. Get a notification saying that the flight has again been delayed, this time to 3:30. Okay. A little bit more irritated now, but it's fine. It's whatever. The delays are caused by storms that were all up and down the East Coast last week. So it's not the airline's fault. Ads are starting up. I'm going to pause the story. I'm paused in the story, I think I will go ahead and do some weekly stuff that I haven't done yet. Margaret wants that, which is in Elpis. This. Okay, so this will give me 5. Okay. Ads are done. Back to the story. So plane is delayed and now delayed until 3:30. It's because of storms that are all up and down the East Coast. It's not the airline's fault by any stretch of the imagination. Holy shit, I guess got the most unlucky rolls there. Damn. Anyway. Not the airline's fault, but still kind of annoying. 3:30 rolls around. Plane has now been delayed until 6 o'clock the next day. So I went from 6 o'clock one morning to 6 o'clock another morning with these delays. And of course, there were the typical groups of people that were incredibly upset. I can't say I blame them. But they were also getting upset at the wrong people, because they were getting very upset at the people at the gate. And pointing at weather patterns on their phones, though. Weather radar is like, but look, and trying to be like, but look, there's a little pocket of of clear weather right there. You could totally get us in right there. Just wait for that. Apparently not realizing that there are other planes in the air. We are not in the air. The ones that are in the air get priority for those little pockets of free space through the weather. But of course they don't want to think about that. They only want to think about themselves. So as annoyed as I was, I came back home and was able to at least raid with my group. Because my original plan was to get to my destination and be able to raid there. Sadly, that did not happen. But everything still worked out. I was able to raid, and the next day I flew out. No problems this time. Was able to have my vacation, enjoy myself. And one funny thing that happened, on the way back, we also had delays. I was having all kinds of delays just going to and coming from my friend's place. I got unlucky. Lame. Oh, never mind. Sometimes lucky. Let's see, where's the other... I don't know where the other... Oh, there's one. Now, thankfully, the delays coming back weren't that bad. It was just like an extra. We spent an hour on like the tarmac. Because once again, weather was going a little nuts. So flights were being rerouted. Oh my goodness, I cannot catch a break. Why don't I just do this one? There. I think that's all I needed. Does that give me 6? That gives me 5. I need 1. Managed to get back home, and the only other hiccup from the flight home was that they kind of screwed up with the checked luggage. They sent it to the wrong carousel, which is whatever. It's just compared to everything else, that wasn't at all a big deal. Especially since the two carousels were right next to each other anyway. So I assume that all that happened was they had like 2 carts or whatever, and one cart went to the correct carousel, the other cart just went to the other one by mistake. So not a huge deal. Oh, I need to spend my purple scripts. Yes. And then while I'm here... No, not the materia. That, mount tokens. How many of these do I have at this point, actually? 28? Okay. I'll need 70 more to get, because I'm going to get 2 more from this week's deliveries, and I'll need 70 more in order to get the mount that I'm missing, which I believe is the Runic. Yeah, the Runic mount is the one that I don't have, because I do have the Swole Tender. The Swole Tender was the one I got first. Charlian Hamlet. Now, originally I was going to stream yesterday because I got back on Tuesday. And I was gonna stream on Thursday, but was feeling a little out of it, a little tired. Presumably because of everything that I did on Wednesday, because because Tuesday because Wednesday I had to Tuesday I didn't do anything. I just kind of did my raid and chilled. Wednesday I had to pick up Missy. I had to do laundry. I did laundry. I went out and did shopping and stuff, and I guess I was a little tired from that and just needed a little extra time to decompress, I guess. I don't know. For whatever reason, I just didn't feel like it, so I decided not to stream after all. And then today, I was originally planning to stream some children's card games because Malice is finally out in Master Duel. and I was going to play some of the event and play some Malice. Saddleback. But ultimately decided, no, I just kind of feel like doing some roulettes, relaxing, not really thinking too much. And so here I am. Ooh, normal raid and alliance raid, DPS in need? Hell yeah. Let's go in on DPS, let's not think. Let's be brain dead. I should head to my house so I can do retainer things while I'm waiting in this queue, because even though it is DPS in need, I'm still going to be waiting for a while. I don't know why that one guy keeps doing this, but he keeps dropping the price of the Sabotender de la Luna mount by several 100,000 gil to undercut me instead of only doing it by one. It's a little annoying. If it gets below 8 mil, I'm not even gonna bother trying to undercut. I'm just gonna crank the price back up to like 9 mil or something and leave it there. It will sell eventually. I am not in a hurry to get gil. I don't even use the gil that I have, honestly. Actually, that kind of reminds me. I wonder if there's any houses. Let's see. Housing lottery tracker. Let's see. Ether. Genova. Available for personal, small, and medium. Ooh, Fist of the Father. With a newbie in the lineup. Neat. I really should spend my poetics. But it's one of those things where I can't really bring myself to care all that much. Kill the oppressor. Frozen bomb. Oh good, it didn't target anybody. It didn't target me or the other Viper. Nice. The only person in melee that it targeted was the tank. I remember when this boss actually had mechanics. Let's see. Next lottery cycle. Server error. It's a server error if I try to look for all zones, but if I look for the individual zones, it's fine. Mist has 3 small plots. Are any of those beachfront? Because if they're beachfront, that might actually be worth trying for. Let me see here. Let's see, 30, 16, and 12. That's 30. 30 is kind of on the beach. 16 is most definitely not on the beach. 12 is also most definitely not on the beach. 30 is kind of on the beach. It's like on the elevated, it's on the cliff that overlooks it. It's not like beachfront. 19, 20, and 21 are the beachfront ones. Let's see. Lavender Beds has 2 smalls. Goblet gives me a server error. Shirogane actually has some mediums available. Let's see. Plot 45, which would be 15. Okay, so that one over there in that cluster by the bar. This is plot 54, which would be... Ooh, that's actually a really good one. Right in front of a market board. And this one is plot 28, which is up the hill from... Okay, so those Shirogane plots have some potential. They have some potential, and there is a medium in the Imperium. Plot 18. That was my dream plot! Yeah, 18 was my dream plot, because that's... I can actually show you exactly which one is 18 right here. I got close to it, but didn't actually get it. This one is 18. This one right here. This one is plot 18. It's not this specific plot 18 that's going to be available in the next lottery cycle, but a plot 18 will be open. Ward 24, plot 18. find out when this lottery cycle ends so I can put in a bid for that one. Actually, let me go ahead and take a look at it now. Wait, this isn't where I wanted to go. Damn it. That's the closest. I think you're right. Because the entrance is right up here, question mark? Yeah, this is the entrance to the area. Well, one of the entrances. There's another one down there. Is right next to it. So 24, about 18, or 17 mil. And I can't go over that. This would be it. The perfect spot. This was the spot that I wanted when Imperium was first released. When I decided to try and go for a house. This was the spot that I wanted as my home. Specifically because of the market board. Even though I can just use the apartment, because the apartments always have a market board and stuff right in front of them, but that's not the point. Point is, I would have a house. I'm definitely going to be putting in a bid for that. I don't think I'm going to get it because I'm not lucky enough. But nothing wrong with trying. Aw, Alliance raid swap to tank in need. Oh shit. There we go. It's actually rare for Alliance raid of all thing to be tank in need. It's usually DPS. In fact, it's usually the only one that's DPS in need. I'm surprised that normal raids have been swapping over to DPS in need, and there were a couple of times where I caught expert as DPS in need. Okay, let's see what we got. I fully expect, yep, that was what I was going to say. I was going to say I fully expect near. The reason I fully expect near is, if I'm not mistaken... Oh no, it's not on here. I thought it was. No, no, it is. I just passed over it. But yeah. Right here. Copied Factory, Puppets Bunker, and Tower at Paradigm's Breach. People be farming the Mog Tomes. See, I already did Weekly and Mini Mog. I have not done the Ultimog. I gotta do Sildine Subterrane 6 times to get the Ultimog challenge thing done. Which I suppose I could do after this. Okay, so the question is... Okay, you've got your tank stance on, you do not have your tank stance on. I am not going to turn my tank stance on. At least not until the second boss. If the second boss, you and the other guy hasn't turned his tank stance on, then I'll go ahead and do it. El Cleave. Cure 3? How was that white mage using Cure 3? Oh, way over here, so nobody gets caught in that, because that does splash damage, if I remember right. That does cleave. Is that Reaper literally doing nothing but auto-attacking? Okay, he is actually attacking. I was watching him for a bit. It looked like he wasn't doing anything but auto-attacking. Little confused. Why would you do that? Why would you make this shit take longer than it's already going to take? Because, oh boy, is it going to take a while. Okay, who's two and who's two? One fun new thing that happened say fun, but it's not really that fun, but it is new. I did change up my workout routine a little bit, because normally what I do is I hop on an elliptical for half an hour because it's low impact cardio, and I'm terrified that I will mess up the muscle in my calf that I've already torn twice. But today, I threw caution to the wind slightly and decided to go ahead and hop on the treadmill. It was very interesting. I wasn't as, like... how to describe this? I wasn't as completely exhausted the way I usually feel whenever I do the elliptical. I was still tired. I was still exhausted. I still had the feeling of, yeah, oh, those guys got destroyed. Anyway, I still had the feeling of exhaustion, like I had just worked out for half an hour. I had just done cardio for half an hour. But it wasn't as, like, it wasn't as bad. And I wasn't sure if that was because I wasn't working myself as hard as I usually do on the elliptical, or if it's just because if it's just because, like, the elliptical works the entire body as opposed to just primarily legs. I choose to believe it's because I was going a little bit easier on it, because I didn't want to, like, overdo it trying to change up my routine. So I did do the half an hour, but I did it at what I believe would have been a slower pace than usual. Still burned a ton of calories. I'm gonna have to dial it in a little bit, figure out exactly, like, how much I can do. And how hard I can push. Because the cardio isn't the only thing that I'm looking to change. I'm also looking to change my strength routine that I do with dumbbells. Expand on it a little bit. That was a healer LB2. Not sure why they decided to do that. Oh, somebody from Alliance C left. Interesting. Okay, do you have your stance on? You do have your stance on. Do you still have your stance on? You do still have your stance on. Okay, let's hope that they split aggro appropriately, and then I don't have to do anything. Because this is literally the only thing that requires multiple tanks. Okay, good. They got this taken care of. I can't remember if that's AoE or not. I believe it is, because it looked like the, well, there was also a raid wide that went out at the same time, I think. Somebody didn't want to leave. Oh, this is gonna suck. Let's see if this is, Nope, it's not. Damage that the random dude took was because of whale. I think I want to save. Yeah, I did want to save. Oh, not that side. This side. And here is fine. Set that. You guys gonna pull them apart? Oh boy. I think I did that shake a little late. And once again, both tanks went to the same side, so the bosses are stacked. Bunch of people standing in the rotating disc of death. Upgraded shield. Swap over to this guy. Okay, over here. This spot. Not that spot. That spot works. That spot doesn't work. This guy's gonna get the lance. How did I know he was gonna get lance? Because it's whichever one of them has higher HP. Low HP gets shield, high HP gets lance. Now, to be perfectly clear, there's actually nothing stopping you from just focusing down the one that gets the shield buff, because the shield buff, if I remember right, the shield buff doesn't actually, like, increase its defenses, it just gives it that three-way directional shield. So if you wanted, you could just focus down one of them and make the fight much, much simpler by just stopping them from doing mechanics by killing one of them, and then just having the raid-wide Lamentations and nothing else. I don't think there's anything bad that happens if you do it that way. I'm not 100% sure, though, so take that with a grain of salt. Mostly because I've never actually done it myself, it's just a theory that I've had. Bonk. Stupid flight unit, how dare you target me? Now we get to fight a bunch of 2P. A veritable flock. Oh no, it's the red girl. Who's over there, I think? I think that's where the arena is. Yeah, it is. You can see her. Just hanging out. That reprisal wasn't late. I need to there. Oh well. This one has separate tank busters too, if I remember right. Probably want to hang out over here. Although I'll need to, Okay, they actually have people that are doing this shit. Okay, I don't need to. First tank buster should be here. Yep, there it is. This is another one that's actually AoE, even though it is marked as single target, I think. Pretty sure that one does AoE. Sublime Transcendence. Creepy jump scare. DPS is actually a little low in this group. Okay, I am not chained. I don't have to do anything for this mechanic. Hell yeah. Love it when I don't have to do anything for a mechanic. Those guys should have done it, or done something for the mechanic. Oh, I am chained this time. Here, and I should be good. Hell yeah. You know, the other day I was doing this on Viper, and it was such a mistake because I was falling asleep mid-rotation, and it did actually get me killed at one point, which was kind of funny. I gotta say, coming in on Warrior, not much better. Not much better. Oh, you suck so much. Okay, the other tanks are still alive. That's all I care about. We might actually get to see the mechanic with the chains and the cleave clones, which I haven't seen in a while. Usually this boss is dead by now. So yeah, now she's gonna summon clones, and then there will be more chains that come out, and you have to dodge the clones that are getting pulled toward you. Alternatively, you could just look at where the empty spaces are, because there's always an empty space somewhere. Hey, I was right. It does cleave, even though it looks like it's a single target. It uses the single target marker, but that monk decided to stand a little too close. Little too close. Like, I sure as hell wasn't moving. If I had moved out, I would have run into a crowd of people, and if I had moved in, I would have stood on top of the other tanks. Okay. Final boss. Boop. Oh, hello, Missy. Missy has been extremely clingy recently. By recently, I mean just since I got back. You know, it's almost like I was gone for a week. It is kind of adorable. And I'm just gonna be right here. Be good. And not try to run through it like those guys did. Now, this morning in particular, well, not even this morning, just last night in general, she actually crawled up onto my chest to sleep, which she normally does not do. She normally sleeps by my legs. It's very, very rare that she crawls up to my chest to sleep. But she was very adamant that she sleep significantly closer to me, I guess. Alright, I gotta go up here. Away from people. That's the second time that Dragoon has died to trying to move to a different spot to dodge those, and ends up moving through them. Eminence. Attack! Might not be the best way to describe... Yeah, there it is. Somebody in Alliance chat just said, "Excuse me while I crank the knob to 11." And the only thing I could think of was, yeah, there might be some British speakers in here, or at least people that know enough about British slang to make that possibly a bad idea, a bad way of phrasing that. And then right as I was about to say that, somebody in Alliance chat typed out, "I'll crank my knob." Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're talking about. Distortion! Color impact. Number 3, 2. Okay, good. It covered all both of them. Oh, this is an easy dodge. Recreate signal. Why is the Fizz range doing the LB when clearly it should be the red mage so that they can flashbang us while these orbs are flying our way? My goodness, it's like you've never trolled an Alliance raid before. Lighter note, so that's that's these things. Darker note is the name of the tank buster. No, we gotta run. My goodness, she's staying alive a lot longer than I would have liked. There we go. Let's pass on all this other crap. It's all done. Let's do expert. That was tanking, right? Yeah. No, my gear has been synced. I'm weaker now. No, whatever shall I do? I got an Astro, so I don't need to worry so much about mobs being stunned a bunch. Honk. And I don't want to go into actually this. Hell yeah, that's what I like to see. Bonk. I wonder how people would react if Square Enix actually made like one of the relic weapons for Warrior a hammer. Like, how many people would actually be down for that, and how many would just be incredibly upset by it? Personally, I think it would be really cool. I'd like to see a hammer. Bonk. I didn't use my other cooldown. I'm batty. I'm sorry, healer. I was zoning out a little bit. No, I lost my inner release. Okay, good. Everybody got to the edge. And the only one that got a damage down is the healer. Their damage doesn't matter. Bonk. Now, this machinist can make me really happy. Oh, hello, Missy. Machinist can make me really happy by using the LB here. Oh, you want in my lap? You want to be cuddly again? Okay, hang on. Arrange myself, there you go. Behold, Missy has arrived. She has come to reclaim her spot in my lap. Yes, Missy, I love you. Adorable. Then lay down. There you go. There's a good kitty. Here's a good Missy cat. A little bit more damage, a little bit faster than I was expecting there. It's okay. We're all good. It's safe to assume that Missy is not terribly thrilled with the fact that I'm paying more attention to the game than I am to her right now. But unfortunately, the game requires the use of both of my hands. I know I don't have to turn him around, but I still like turning him around. There we go. Easy. that run apparently only took 14 minutes. I wasn't looking at the clock for that one. Okay, so 500 more tomes, and I will be able to grab myself another weapon. Excellent. And now, because I pointed it out earlier, and because it's now bothering me, let's hop over to Old Charlian so I can spend my poetics. Hello, Missy. You're so cute. Yeah. You're cute little Missy cat. Oh. I'm out of the dungeon now, so I can give you scritches. Yeah. She was in my lap earlier today, too, and was actually sleeping. And first and foremost, it's always a special feeling whenever a cat chooses you as their sleeping spot. But with this one, it was extra special because not only did she choose me as her sleeping spot, I'm maxed out on fever, right? Yeah, I am. It's armor. Armor is what I need. But it was extra special for Missy because when she was sleeping, she was deep enough asleep that she started dreaming, and she had dream twitches in my lap. Very rare for her to fall asleep in my lap and get dream twitches. Like, I assume that on occasion she does fall asleep in my lap, but I've never had her dreaming in my lap. It's very adorable. Ooh, classical gunblade. I actually don't know what my blacksmithing is at. Oh, blacksmithing is actually much, much higher than I thought it was. Saddlebag. These can go in there. Repair all this stuff because they got recently upgraded. Normally I wait until the next 24-man comes out to upgrade pieces on my off jobs, but since we're still doing some clears, I went ahead and just spent books to get the upgrade items to start upgrading my tome pieces. So I upgraded most of what I have. There's only 3 pieces, I think? Yeah, 3 pieces that I don't have upgraded now for tank, which are my 2 accessories and the boots. So that's nice. Swap over to Scholar. Go level captain. I might go ahead and pick up a Wondrous Tales book and try to get tomes off of that, because I know that gives 500 tomes, and I haven't been doing that a lot lately. Or at all lately. Could also get maps off of it, I think. It's always this one. Why? Why is it always this one?
To the memories of better days, I bid farewell.
Have you heard? Princess Fiend is here.
Foreign entities detected. Proceeding with removal.
I shouldn't need to heal him here, because this is just 3 mobs. And he's popping cooldowns, so he's fine. Yeah, ES has got him. No big deal. He's also using Aurora.
Your smile means all is right with me.
Here, however, I will go ahead and
If I smile, it is because
throw
you
him
will
some
smile
stuff.
for me.
Come on, dude. Get up here. Why are you pulling them all the way up there? That confuses me. Get him an extra straight just for safety's sake. I don't think he needs it though. You can't see it, but she has her head laying on my armrest, on the armrest of my chair. Right now. So adorable. Easy.
You are my people, and I will protect you.
Easy. What you murrin' about?
Painful memories of war, I lay to rest.
Yay, piety materia, because I totally need that. That's why you don't pull them all the way up here. Because that can happen. Isn't that right, Missy? Yeah, it is. You want to pull them all the way up the stairs, because if you do that, then you run the risk of the one that does the cleave AoE goes up against the wall, and you can't do shit. Except hope that you kill it fast enough to not have it be a problem. Bonk. Bonk. I love Scholar. I don't have to do shit 90% of the time except slap the ground. Rest assured, I am giving Missy as much attention as possible during these runs. Not nearly as much attention as she would like, I'm sure, but I'm sure she'd like me to focus on nothing but her whenever she's in my lap.
Security breach confirmed. Initiating level 5 security protocol.
That was a little late. It's going that way so I can stay right where I'm at. That guy, on the other hand, needed to not be there. Why would you use Heart of Light there? Like, yeah, you'll cover this disassembly, but, like, it's just such an awkward place to use that. You're gonna make me actually have to heal. I don't like that. Why do you think I play Scholar? I don't play Scholar to heal. Play it so I can sit here and DPS. This should cover both of them. Yeah, it should cover. Hell yeah. There, there. This mechanic, which I usually don't see. But whatever. It's fine. It's dead.
Fear not. You will all live on.
Oh, two of those double bracelets are gonna cast
And
on.
at the last, my final endless.
They've done it! They've preserved the Queen! We can't give up! Not until keep complete!
It's got an extra shield. Now, if that second boss is anything to go by, this boss is probably going to end with somebody dead. What do you think, Missy? I got odds on the Viper. Of course, if the tank wants to be an idiot... Oh, no, the Viper was the one that got hit. First, at least. Figured... Regular partition. Rearrange yourself a little bit, Missy? Yeah? Can I hit two of them from here? Yes, good. DPS game, let's go. Missy's having a hard time getting comfortable in my lap because, like, the way she's positioned herself, her legs keep wanting to, like, slip off of mine. So she can't quite get a stable position. Mission. Damn it. Are you just gonna lay on the ground and pout now? He is just gonna lay on the ground and pout. Well, I already raised him. I gave him a raise, so I'm not gonna waste mana giving it to him again if he doesn't take it. Okay, he did finally take it. I already have that one. Okay. But hey, I was right. The Viper died. Oh yeah, this wasn't upgraded. This was just freshly purchased. Yeah. Because now the only things I need for healer are 2 accessories. Yeah, I just need the bracelets and the earrings. And then healer is done. And then ninja slash viper will be next. And then fizz ranged will be the last one that I actually put together. You know what? I kind of want to do something a little bit more chill. So let's do trials. We'll do trial. See. See, anything fun going on? Anybody using anything spicy in the Fusion Link Festival? I'd say that's pretty spicy. Someone going in with Ubel Fiendsmith. Going in with Ubel Fiendsmith and using DPE? That's kind of fun. Oh, Diamond Weapon. Been a while since I did this one. Okay, you have. Oh, okay. I was about to say you have until the portraits go away to turn on tank stance. I don't think I need tank stance on for this. I think it just auto targets me. Easy, easy. I should not have used that there. Yep, it does auto. It's not just auto target me. Wasn't 100% sure if it did or not. Seems that it does. No, my IR, you bastard. We. Bleh. Hurry, I should still be able to get at least. Nope. I didn't see how it happened, but I did see that one dude got wrecked. I assume he ran into traffic. Not rip that guy. Go. Finally comfy now, Missy. It's finally kind of settled down a little bit. He's been kind of like standing up and spinning around in my lap, trying to find the one spot that is comfy. Oh shit. Oh, I hope somebody went over there. Yep, they did. Okay, almost dead. This one we gotta spread out for. Hey, that was fun. Now it's just high level, leveling, and main scenario, and frontline. Alternatively, let's head to Idleshire and pick up Wondrous Tales. Because I have been meaning to get into the habit of doing these again, since the relic weapon is tomes. And there apparently will be a relic step coming up in the next patch, so... which we'll get the actual release date of that. Oh hey, Frontline is finally on this. Nice. Let's see, these two I can solo, this one I can't. This one I think I found out that I could solo, but it's too much effort. Asphodelos, I'll be able to queue for that one pretty easily because people are doing it for tomes. Juno, the first walk, and one of the tactics raids, Evilise raids. But some of these I can solo. And or just queue directly for. So, Missy, I know you're nice and comfy in my lap, but I kind of have to go pee. Yeah, I kind of have to go pee. Sorry, it's a bodily function. You do it all the time. Give you some scritches before I force you off my lap. Okay, Missy. Time for you to go to your chair. Go on, in your chair, Missy. Oh, she doesn't want to go into. She doesn't want to go into her chair. She just wants to go on. wander about. Okay, be right back. I gotta go pee. What you meow? No, Missy. You can't have that. Not right now. Okay, I'm back. Had to get Missy some water. She did need water. So do I, actually. Be right back again, I guess. Yep. Okay. Take some ibuprofen. Got a slight headache. I don't want to wait for it to get to become a worse headache before doing something about it. Okay. High level dungeons, let's go. Let's get these roulettes done and get another relic in my back pocket. Swallow's Compass. This is a pretty fun one. And I think we got at least one newbie in the lineup. And I'm pretty sure the healer's new. The ninja might be new, but not necessarily. I noticed that this ninja isn't using Doton, and that kind of worries me because it makes me wonder if he's going to be using Doton on bosses. Hopefully he doesn't. I would much rather just never see him use Doton than see him use Doton on bosses. Flow of wind ceases. The dragon's seal is broken. Otengu! I think this was an AoE. Yeah, this is an AoE. Maybe that does that. And every time you get hit with one of those, it gives you a stack of separation. And that's why you don't want to get those stacks of separation, because I'm pretty sure that's what ended up killing that ninja. Might of the Tengu. This is the Tank Buster. Yeah. It's unmarked, but it is the Tank Buster. Or at least a really heavy hitting attack, not really a tank buster because it's a dungeon. They don't really have tank busters in dungeons. Not really, at least. There are very, very few tank busters in dungeons that are worthy of the name. I remember this dungeon being the one that released a bunch of sets that people really wanted for glamour. People were like spamming the hell out of this dungeon when it first came out so that they could get all of the gear from it. Not because they needed the gear. I mean, some of them probably did, but it was mostly because they wanted the glamour. As I recall, oh my god, you did a single target Doton. Why? Why would you do that? Anyway, as I was saying, the gear from this place was actually based off of, it was from a community design contest, as I could recall. Somebody designed, it was the gear that was actually used for the design contest was meant to be caster gear, as I recall. And they took that design and built, made and just based all of the sets from this dungeon on it. It turned out pretty good too. As I recall, they also, during one of the previous Mogtome events, you might still be able to get some of them. I can't remember. I don't know what the inventory is like on previous Mogtome events at the Moogle. But I know that you could get the chest pieces from this dungeon for Mogtomes during one of the events. I'd be able to show the chest piece if any chest pieces, like, you know, dropped. Haven't been, fortunately. There was a helm that dropped, but... no chest pieces to really show off. The really crazy thing is, people were running this so much trying to get all of the pieces of gear that there were forum threads that started popping up. Like, this is what gave birth to those forum threads. They've been popping up pretty consistently since then for one reason or another, but this is the one where it first started, where it first started up, because this was when Square Enix first implemented leveling dungeons guaranteeing a piece of gear, because that used to not be a thing. And then they changed it so that you were guaranteed to get at least one piece of gear at the end of a leveling dungeon. When this dungeon came out, they wanted Square Enix to expand that to include all dungeons because they didn't want to farm. They were tired of having to farm this dungeon for what they wanted. Okay, now we get to go up against the Monkey King! Yeah, I'll go ahead and wait for the healer. I don't need to wait for the healer here, but I'm going to. Mostly because I want to gush a little bit about how, I appreciate how they named him Qitian Dasheng. Or Qitian Eshang, however you're supposed to pronounce that, I honestly do not know. I probably butchered the hell out of the pronunciation. But, they didn't name him Monkey King, but that name is the title that, in the story, the Monkey King gave to himself. And it's supposed to mean like greatest or greater than heaven or something. Great sage greater than heaven. And it's like sage greater than heaven or something along those lines. I can't remember what the exact translation is. Mount Huaguo is also a reference to him, just another reference to it. That's the mountain that the Monkey King lives at. I really hate Warrior AoE at this level because I don't gain rage off of it. It's really stupid. Okay, there's a chest piece. Yeah, that's what one of them looks like. They all have... Oh, somebody got it. Wasn't me. They rolled a 98. Clearly they just wanted it more. Gives me a seal. Cool. Now for leveling roulette. Ooh, I get to be level 100 in this one. Although my gear is synced, so down to like 690, I think is what they sync this at. 690, 700. $680, damn. shit. I think I stood in something I wasn't supposed to. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Not get him away from that spot. Oh, I'll just turn him. He's gonna jump to the middle soon anyway. Yep, there he goes. Bonk. Bonk. This is where souls are stripped of memories. Souls are the white matter, and they're being sent to Zoralja. Normally, I would try to stun some of these, but we have a white mage, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to do that. Boss number 2. Then it's all downhill from there because the trash pulls after this boss suck. Oh, I didn't. Oh well, it still worked out. I was trying to grab aggro by way of equilibrium, but I think I did it a little too early, and they weren't actually like targetable, which means that equilibrium wouldn't have done anything. That is not the place you want to be. Mr. Healer. Bonk. I don't know if the Black Mage threw anything there, but it looked like I just like almost one-shot all of them with that, with that Primal Ruination. I'm pretty sure the Black Mage threw something at him, but I like to imagine it was just the Primal Ruination because it makes me smile. Okay. And now the part where the pulls start to suck. This. By the way, let's go ahead and take a moment to appreciate the simple fact that I'm pulling these mobs correctly. By which I mean I'm dragging the melee mobs on top of the ranged mob, so that the ranged mob isn't off by itself, not taking damage. There are far too many people playing tank that don't understand that simple concept. Now this is the part where the healer might get a little annoyed with me, because I like to do this pull, I like to separate these pulls, because the turtle is incredibly annoying, and I don't want to have to deal with the turtle and these things. These things are also kind of annoying, but not as annoying as the turtle. These things combined with the turtle make this pull so much more irritating than it needs to be. So, like, I need to... I have to do this one separately. I could do it together, do it in one pull, but it would suck. Nobody would be having a good time. Like, nobody even has a good time with this thing. I'm going to stay in melee range because I've got the anti-knockback stuff and I've got cooldowns, but everybody else kind of has to fuck off. Okay, I'll go ahead and hang out for the DPS, I don't mind. Then after this, gotta do MSQ. And then probably gonna call the stream later. My psychokinesis will bring you to your knees. Lay right here should be fine. You're welcome, Black Mage. I definitely saved your ass. Psychic Wave. And now we don't have to deal with things again. Yeah, it's the last time he does it. Not sure why, since they have 2 extra cages, so they could totally have done a third ad phase, and maybe they do a third ad phase if you take long enough to kill this boss, but as far as I know, he only ever summons the ads twice. Could be an interesting thing to test and find out. Just keep him alive super long time and see if he does summon and does open the last 2 cages for more ads. Max melee range right here. Oh. Done. Ooh, the chair. Probably not going to get that chair. I wonder if it sells for anything. Here it is. The next chair. Yeah, it doesn't really sell for much of anything. I figured. Alrighty. Now I believe, yes, I do MSQ roulette, and I will have enough to buy a new. Praetorium. Okay. Not my preferred thing to get in MSQ, but the Scholar doesn't have their ferry out. Okay, there it is. They realized it themselves. Oh, Gaius, are you done talking yet? Or not? I get the distinct impression this guy is very new to Scholar. Of course, he does have the newbie leaf, so he could just be new player in general. And I'm basing this opinion purely on the fact that, number one, he's spamming Ruin 2. And number two, he's using Physic. Rather than just letting his fairy do the work. Which, you know, is fine. It's whatever. But I can't tell him any of this because, knowing my luck, he's probably queued in with one or both of these DPS, and they're immediately gonna jump on me if I try to do anything that suggests he's doing something wrong. Or he himself might react that way. And this is why I took off my mentor crown after I finished getting Astrop. Because that attitude has been far more prevalent in the game as a whole than I would like. And besides, people don't listen anyway. I learned that during Mentor Roulette in general. People just do not listen. That's why I was only able to clear Ramu EX. I think I did clear it. Well, I can't remember if I did or not, but I think I cleared it at least once. But only once. I either cleared it once or I didn't clear it at all. I can't really remember. That time period is just kind of a blur because it got to a point where they all just kind of, all the runs that I ever did of Ramu EX just kind of merged together. Because after the 5th or 6th time of getting it with nobody paying attention to anything that I said about the mechanics, I just stopped explaining it. I just stopped. I gave up on it. Stopped altogether. And from that point forward, all I did, the only time I spoke in chat was if somebody asked a specific question, and I would give them a specific answer. Otherwise, I would wait until we wiped 3 times, and then I would vote dismiss. Which more often than not passed the first time. There were a couple of times where it didn't pass, but I would always just do vote dismiss after every single wipe, no matter what. And eventually it would pass. Okay, another one. Cutscene. Ay, ay, ay. Attack! I'm not sure why this bard is using AoE moves on a single target. There we go. But then I've kind of given up on this not taking a bit longer than it rightfully should, so it's whatever. Might have to make this Ubel deck for the event, just for giggles. It's been a while since I played Ubel. See, they're running Super Pod. I'm probably not going to run this version of it, this particular version of it with DPE and shit in it. But the rest of it, I probably run more hand traps than them because of that, actually. Run an extra Mulch Army, throw in Ash Blossom. Primite Roar. But I want to keep that in. Like, it works as a starter for a Primite. Doesn't do anything beyond that, though. It's an extra set of starters for the Primite, for not Primite, but for Fiendsmith. But honestly, if I was gonna do that, I think I'd rather have I think I'd rather run Fiendsmith Sanct than Primite Roar. Because Fiendsmith Sanct does more or less the same thing, right? Fiendsmith Sanct. Let's see. If you control no face-up monsters or all face-up monsters you control are light fiend monsters, special summon one Fiendsmith token. Also, you can. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't matter. I was about to say, oh, the downside is that you can't declare attacks, because that's what the next line says. Also, you cannot declare attacks for the rest of this turn, and then it goes on. But then it goes on to say, except with fiend monsters. Spoiler alert, Ubel is nothing but fiends. If face-up Fiendsmith monster you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while this card is in the graveyard, you can set this card. You can only use each effect of Fiendsmith. Yeah, see, like, I would rather run Fiendsmith Sanct if I was going to do it in this event. because Fiendsmith Tract is limited to 1 in the event.
Tell me, for whom do you fight?
Yeah, like Lacrima, the Crimson Tears is limited to 1. Fiendsmith Engraver is limited to 1. Fiendsmith's Tract is limited to 1. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna make a version of Ubel for the event. It's gonna look a little bit like this, but it's not gonna have some things. Like, I'm not gonna use Escape of the Unchained because I like Chamber, Abominable Chamber instead. I probably will have Super Poly, but I'll probably run. No, they have Loving Defender here. Cool, good on them. But the Primite Roars and Dippity I'll probably swap out for Fiendsmith Sanct. What else can I change around in here? The Destiny Heroes and the Fusion Destiny I'll swap out for an Ash Blossom. Maybe cut one of the Gruesome Grave Squirmers for an extra Mulch Army. The rest of this list looks pretty good, though. I'll find something to replace that DPE with. Oh wait, I don't have to find something to replace the DPE with. Looking at it, DPE... They're not running Fiendsmith's Lacrima. Yeah, I can just swap that out for Fiendsmith's Lacrima. And maybe swap out some of the Super Poly targets for something a little bit more fun, like Abominable, Unchained Abomination, and Soul of Rage. Or not Soul of Rage, Soul of Anguish. Yeah, that could be fun. Could be neat to play something like that. That'll probably be tomorrow's stream. It's just me doing the event stuff. You done talking yet, guys? Just about done. Your armor is gold. The only advantage I could see Primite Roar giving would be if they were if I went up against somebody that was using Dippity, because then I could cancel the normal summon. But then they would have to be running something that used Dippity, and they would have to normal summon Dippity, which are both things that you do not want to do. Oh, he's gonna get wrecked. Boom. Doesn't do that much damage though. Anyway, as I was saying, the only advantage I can see that Dippity would give you is it's an extra body in the graveyard. If they normal summon Dippity, then you could take advantage of that. And what else? Honestly, I think that's about it. It's just those two factors. Just it gives you an extra fiend in the graveyard to work with. honestly, like, it shouldn't be that hard to get enough fiends to work with in the graveyard with fiends, with any amount of fiendsmith. I don't know. I'll play around with it. Let's see what I can come up with. I do like the idea of running Super Poly with Ubel Living Defender. I don't know why you bothered LBing. It doesn't skip. You can't skip this. Well, maybe they don't know that. Maybe they just wanted to have their anime moment. My eyes! Yeah, 7 irregular tombstones of allegory. And extra bonus skill for being an adventurer in need. Now I have enough tomes to buy yet another relic. Yeah, they just dropped it down to... I'm not going to drop down any more than that. I'm going to put it at 9 and leave it there. If he wants to keep dropping it, that is his prerogative. I'm gonna leave it at 9 mil and just let it sit. Are the items in there? Oh, that's... Never mind. Saddlebag. Put those in there. You could actually go ahead and buy some treasure maps with the Mog tomes that I've got. Oh wait, hang on. It would be helpful if I actually had them in my inventory. I can't remember what the difference is between these, because they're both level 90. I think this one puts you in the Excitotron, and this one puts you in the roulette wheel thing. Turn in all this junk for seals. I need to spend my seals now. Let's get some duck bones. kill a bunch of ducks, steal their bones. This, by the way, is how you turn poetics into money. You use the poetics to buy accessories that you can then turn in for seals, and then when you get enough, you buy duck bones, and the full stack of duck bones will get you a little over 50k. Simple, easy, not at all hard to do. Let's repair that, and now let's head over to the Phantom Island and pick up a relic. Decide which relic I'm going to pick up. Let's pick up a relic that I'm actually going to equip, because I've had this unfortunate habit of purchasing relic weapons for jobs that I have raid weapons for. That's why I have these 3 in here. Like, yeah, those are the jobs that I play, so that's the reason why I wanted those particular weapons, but there are a bunch of other jobs that are stuck. Like, this one's got a 725 weapon. Come on. I can swap that out. It's the only one that has a 725 weapon, it looks like, actually. Yeah. Okay. That settles it then. I'm getting the samurai blade. That... samurai. Here, whip that. Very simple, very nice. I quite like it. And this I can desynth. It'll gain me some levels. So, oh no, there are some other weapons down here that aren't 745. The scythe and the pistol, which looks incredibly silly, actually. The pistol looks ridiculous. Like, look at this thing. This looks like the portal gun from Rick and Morty. Anyway. That's gonna be all for tonight. Short stream just to get back into the swing of things. Tomorrow I will likely be playing some Master Duel. I will also likely be starting the stream a little early. Probably sometime around noon, I think. Yeah, I think around noon is CST is when I'm gonna start up the stream tomorrow. Don't know how long I'm gonna stream for, but that'll be when I start. See you guys tomorrow. Later.